Ohai. Krasnodar. Till 1920, Ekaterinodar. The city in the southwest of Russia, located on the right bank of the river of Kuban, at distance of 120 km from the Black Sea. On the highway from the settlement of Dububka. 140 km from the Sea of Azov. On the highway from the village of Golubitsko. And 1300 km to the south from Moscow. On the highway M-4 Don. Together with adjacent rural settlements, the city of Krasnodar, with the status of the city district, forms the municipal unit. Large economic and cultural center of the North Caucasus and Southern Federal District, center of the historical and geographical area of Kuban. Unofficial hereinafter is referred to as the capital of Kuban and also the capital of the south of Russia. Krasnodar, the third most populated city of the Southern Federal District after Rostov-on-Don and Volgograd. The population of the city -948,827. 2021. People. The population of the city district. With the subordinated rural settlements. -1,037,888 inhabitants. For 2021. Etymology. It is founded in 1792 as fortress under the name Ekaterinodar, appropriated in honor of the Empress Catherine II, or rather by the tradition which already developed from St. Petersburg in honor of its name day, that is in honor of Saint Catherine. The name of fortress is initially used in its direct sense, Catherine gift. The city was mortgaged on the earth granted by Catherine II to the Black Sea Cossack army. In 1920 the city is renamed into Krasnodar, where the element red has symbolical, revolutionary value. Geography. Krasnodar is in the southern part of the East European plain on the Kubanno-Prizovsky lowland, in 1300 km to the south from Moscow. It is located practically in the center of Krasnodar Krai, in the southern part of the Prikabansky plain, in the valley of the Kuban River. On the right high coast. That is, geomorphologisk, on the floodplain and a Nadpermeny terrace. The relief of Krasnodar has an equal bias to the northwest. Height above sea level fluctuates from 19 to 32 meters. The Kuban River, bending around the city from the south and the southwest, forms in this place wide to 15 km. A trapezoidal form. The right coast abrupt and high, up to 12 m. Left low, flat. Width of the riverbed of Kuban within the city about 150 meters, depth from 1.5 to 6.5 m. Geographical coordinates. 45A northern latitude, 38A east longitude. From the north on the south. In limits of city line. Krasnodar was stretched on 20.6 km, and from the east on the west on 30.1 km. The occupied space -294.908 km. Krasnodar is located in a zone of seismic activity. Quite often epicenter of an earthquake is in the Black Sea, and seismic waves reach the coastal cities and even Krasnodar. For all history of observations of strong earthquakes in the city, it was not recorded. However, in 1978 and in 2002 earthquakes were observed by intensity from 4 to 5 points. Krasnodar is located near two warm seas and holds a profitable economical geographical location. Distance to the Black Sea on a straight line -78 km, to Azov -95 km. Time zone. Krasnodar is in hour zone Moscow time. Moscow time. Shift of the applied time concerning UTS is +3:00. According to the applied time and geographical longitude, average solar midday in Krasnodar comes at 12:24. Climate. Krasnodar is on the southern limit of mid-latitudes and has transitional from softly continental to subtropical climate. Siaka according to classification of climate of Köppen. Over this territory air masses of mid-latitudes prevail. They have the greatest repeatability in winter months, 82%. The smallest in summer, 62%. Invasions of the Arctic air are very seldom observed. For summer, invasion of tropical air is characteristic. As Krasnodar, located on border between the warm seas and the cold continent, is open for invasion, various and warm and cold air masses, sharp weather changes, especially air temperatures, are characteristic of it. The long hot summer and soft moderate and warm winter are characteristic of Krasnodar. Transitional seasons are expressed poorly. The winter begins at the beginning of January, usually is soft to frequent and intensive thaw. Quite often in the first half of January warm weather is noted. The average long-term duration of winter is 40 days. Average monthly temperatures fluctuate from +7 to 5. The annual average minimum during the winter period makes 15.9 C. The absolute minimum was observed in January and made 32.9 C in 1940. In the winter of draft dropout, often in the form of a rain, it is rare, snow. Steady snow cover is observed extremely seldom. The spring begins last decade of February. At its beginning seldom there are cold snaps to 3 -5 C. Transition of average daily air temperature through 5 C happens in the middle of March. The vegetative period of plants begins. The climatic summer is established in the first decade of May. Transition of average daily air temperature through 15 by C. And lasts almost until the end of September. Summer hot and mainly dry. The maximum temperature in separate years can reach +42 C. The summer, the longest season in Krasnodar, also makes 5 months. Summer rainfall is generally short-term. The heavy rains with thunderstorms, which sometimes are followed by a hail, are characteristic. The long periods without rains, which are followed by droughts and hot dry winds, are characteristic of summer of Krasnodar. The fall comes at the beginning of October. In an early autumn, clear and warm weather prevails. By the end, the number of cloudy days increases. The first frosts drop out for the beginning middle of November. The amount of precipitation in autumn months gradually increases. In November, strong winds are characteristic. In a year 750 mm of rainfall drop out. The maximum of rainfall is observed in June and in November-December, at least in August. December, a rainy season in the city. Average annual temperature +13. 4C, average annual humidity of air -71%. Hydrography. Through the city Kuban, the largest river of the North Caucasus proceeds. Its length -870 km, and the area of the pool is 57900 km. Near the city of Kuban it is characterized by tortuosity of the course. In the course of the natural movement, the river broke through places of a neck of loops, rectifying the course. The former knee formed inundated lakes, Storitsa. An example of Storitsa is the lake called Kuban at Krasnodar. Owing to a considerable bias of the course, Kuban differs in a rapid current and as a result, big destructive force at floods and high waters. So, amplitude of fluctuations of water level at Krasnodar reached 5 meters. Through regulation of a drain in 1973, filling of the biggest artificial reservoir of Krasnodar Krai, the Krasnodar Reservoir, which finally regulated a river drain of Kuban, began. Earlier, across the territory of the city the Karasin River flowed. Subsequently, as a result of anthropogenic factors, the Karasin River was broken into several isolated reservoirs. Ecology. The ecological situation in Krasnodar is defined by researchers as intense. The problem of air pollution by the motor transport has special relevance. In districts of the city through which there pass large highways, excess of admissible regulation on the content of hydrocarbons, carbon oxide, nitrogen oxide, from 1.5 to 7 times is fixed. For the end of 2015, the beginning of 2016 in Krasnodar was registered most of all, among the Russian cities, cause per capita. If for Moscow this indicator is equal to 417 cause on 1,000 people, then in Krasnodar -437 cause. In summertime transport when traffic flow increases to 2 million cause begins to play an important role. Scientists note very high level of pollution of atmospheric air caused by results of activity of power generation facilities, enterprises of petrochemical, oil processing and fuel industry. In the downtown the content in air of 2 nitrogen oxide and carbon oxide 1.5, 2 times higher than in other areas. This situation is explained by permanent intake of these substances from the enterprises located in other districts of the city at the prevailing western, northeast and east winds. Most the industrial region of the city, often because of misuse or malfunction of systems of the dust removal and gas purifying equipment, suffers from pollution. Nevertheless, following the results of the research conducted by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Protection of the Russian Federation in 2017, Krasnodar takes the 3rd place on purity of air among the cities of Russia with the population over 500,000 people. High anthropogenic strain is experienced by water city facilities. In water the exceeded admissible concentration of harmful substances, including compounds of copper, iron, oil, hydrocarbons, nitrates are fixed several times. Ancient history. According to results of the West Caucasian archaeological expedition in the downtown, near the present Gardens Park, the large Myotsky ancient settlement existing here since the 4th or 3rd century B.C. was revealed. Also, near Krasnodar, in the territory of the present village Elizabethan. On the bank of Kuban, the ancient city of the Bosporsky kingdom with surf strengthenings was located. New Wilai. Vistim Ekaterinodara, from the Military Encyclopedia by Sitin, Street. Petersburg, 1911-1915. On June 30. On July 11. 1792 to the Black Sea Cossack Army the Empress Catherine II issued the appointed diploma according to which the Kuban Earth limited to the Kuban River and the Sea of Azov, and from the east by the conditional line from the mouth of Laba to the Yeisk town was transferred to the Cossacks serving and living here to eternal ownership. In 1793 the Black Sea Cossacks founded the present city of Ekaterinodar, originally as the military camp and later as fortress. This city received the name as a gift by the Empress Catherine II to the Black Sea Cossacks of the Kuban Earth. Literally, Ekaterinodar means Catherine gift. Danila Savinovich Volkoraz was the first governor of a town of an army hail of Ekaterinodar till January 1795. On September 29. 1794 of Hetman, the land surveyor sent from Simferopol, began delimitation and breakdown of city streets according to the plan, approved as the Taurian Governor-General Semyon Semyonovich Chigulin. According to this plan, on the riverbank Karasin is located the army fortress in which center the church is located, and around this, huts barracks. To the north of fortress cut the woods and built apartment houses of sailors of the Black Sea Fleet. On the census conducted 11 on November 22. 1794 by the governor of a town 586 people lived in Ekaterinodar, 9 houses, 75 huts, 154 dugouts are built, soon the number of the yards increased up to 370. In 1830 in 5 versts from Kuban, at Karasin, 2 furnaces with a capacity of 45 and 38,000 bricks for the purpose of production of a brick for construction in the city of premises of army office, city police, the territorial administration, the house for nobility Assamese and a Proviansky warehouse were constructed. Since 1860 Ekaterinodar became the administrative center of the educated Kuban region. Received the status of the city of Ekaterinodar in 1867. With carrying out in 70 the 80th years of the 19th century of the railroad in the North Caucasus. Tikhoretsk, Ekaterinodar, Novorossiysk. The city turned into the large commerce and industry and transport center of North Caucasus region. Thanks to it, merchants began to lodge in the city, in addition to Cossacks. Also the architectural appearance of the city changed. Ekaterinodar began to be built up with buildings in style of classicism and a modernist style. At the beginning of the 20th century in the city the first plants, metalworking and iron are under construction. There is a center of oil refining which was got near the village Shervan. In 1900 the city tram appeared. In the years of civil war Ekaterinodar de facto became the capital of the White South of Russia. Storm of the city parts of Army of the General 50. G. Kornilev became on April 9, 1918 the culmination of the first Cuban campaign of volunteer army from Don into Kuban. During storm the commander-in-chief who replaced it the General A. 1. Denikin died made the decision to raise a siege of the city and to take away army back to Don. In 5 months, during the Second Cuban Campaign the city was taken by volunteer army of the General Denikin during storm on August 1, 1918. In 1919-1920 in Ekaterinodar and the neighborhood of the city, the Ekaterinodarsky Underground Party Committee. A. Lemansky 5. F. Shiorny M. Kakinen M. Masliev. Coordinating activity of several underground organizations and fighting groups and red guerrillas worked. On March 17, 1920, Ekaterinodar was left to Sire and is busy with parts of the 9th Army of Russia. The power in the city passed to the Cuban Executive Committee, and then to the Cuban Regional Revolutionary Committee. On December 7, 1920, the city was renamed by the Resolution Narkomata of Internal Affairs of Rusfers into Krasnodar. The telegram sent on November 7 signed by Ya 5. Dluane's Predkaborevkim was the cause for such resolution. Soviet period. On March 29, 1920, the Kurbano-Chernomorsky area of Rusfers with the center in Krasnodar, which was in 1924 a part of Southeast area, then North Caucasian Edge with the center in Rostov-on-Don, was formed. Krasnodar became the center of the Cuban district abolished in 1930. From 1922 to 1936 in Krasnodar there were also an executive committee of Council of Working and Country Deputies of the ADG. Circassian Autonomous Region and other its party economic organizations. Krasnodar, being in fact the center of the ADG Autonomous Region, was not its part. Cultural life of Krasnodar considerably changed in the 1930th years. Then in the city the drama theater of Gorky and operetta theater appeared. In 1933 in Krasnodar there was a free airport Krasnodar. January 10, 1934 the North Caucasian Edge was divided into two parts. The Krasnodar district together with the city departed to Azovo-Chernomorsky Edge. On September 13, 1937 the last was divided by the resolution of Vievek into Krasnodar Krai with the center in Krasnodar and the Rostov region with the center in the Rostov-on-Don. During the Great Patriotic War on August 9, 1942 Krasnodar was captured by parts of Wehrmacht and troops of the satellite countries of Fascist Germany. In total during occupation more than 13,000 Soviet citizens were tortured, including with the help, for the first time, the method of Massachusetts extermination of people applied by chasseurs in Krasnodar. On February 12, 1943 the city was freed by parts of the Red Army. In July 1943 in Krasnodar open legal procedure over helpers of the German invaders for the first time took place. Leaving, the German troops blew up and set fire to the most part of the central part of the city. After war the city was restored, construction of new areas began. In 1978-1988 years on the outskirts of the city Massachusetts building by the sleeping residential districts. Festival, anniversary, Komsomol, Hydro-Bilders. Consisting of standard panel series of houses was developed. The Krasnodar technical direction of volume and block housing construction gained broad development those years. From volume blocks not only apartment houses, but also social facilities and production enterprises were built. In 1973 for ensuring accomplishment of production and meliorative actions in a southeast part of Krasnodar, the Krasnodar Reservoir, which provided also protection of the city against spring floods, was constructed. Russian period. Increase in number of residents of Krasnodar is connected, generally, with migration processes. Since the beginning of the 1998 years, their former names were returned to many city streets. In 2004, the structure of the city included the settlements of Kalinino and Pashkovsky. Population. Significant increase in population in 2004 is connected with inclusion in structure of the city of the urban type settlements of Pashkovsky, 43,000 inhabitants, and Kalinino, 34,000 inhabitants. For January 1, 2021 on population, the city was in the 16th place from 16 cities of the Russian Federation. Among the cities of the Southern Federal District takes the third place after Rostov-on-Don, 1,137,704, and Volgograd, 1,004,763. Population for January 1, 2021, people in borders of the city district, with the rural settlements which are its part. The population makes persons. Krasnodar, the city of Russia, which population constantly grew, even despite economic crises of the 90th years in other regions of Russia. The defining factor of growth of the population of the city after the collapse of the USSR, the authorities and specialists, is called not only inflow of economic migrants from all North Caucasus and the countries of Transcaucasia, but also acquisition of housing by wealthy citizens from the region of the far north and other regions. In 2020 in Krasnodar, increase in birth rate, decline in mortality and increase in life expectancy was noted. In 2009, for the first time for several last years, natural increase of the population -330 people. The number been born in 2009 made 9765 people, the dead -9435 people was noted. In 2021, for the first time since 2009, the natural losses of the population connected with decrease been born for 0.7% were recorded and honor, with increase in death rate for 28% to the level of 2020. Status of the million-strong city. The management of the city repeatedly said that the population of Krasnodar already exceeded a million mark. In 2007, about 800,000 inhabitants lived in the city district Krasnodar according to Rosstat. However, according to the city administration in Krasnodar, 1.2 million health insurance policies for the citizens who are actually in the city and visiting him were issued. When carrying out a population census -2010, the city authorities declared desirability of official achievement of population in 1 million, was carried out by them a prairie campaign under the slogan, Krasnodar needs the status of the million-plus city. Besides, as it is stated above, according to statements of the authorities, the actual population of the city was estimated by them at 1.2 million people. And, though the population census did not confirm the status of the million-strong city, the city authorities in the years ahead returned again to this subject. At the beginning of 2016, the mayor of Krasnodar expressed opinion that, if to take these police, physicians and the pension fund, then more than 1,250,000 people live in our city already today. In 2017, the assistant to the mayor of Krasnodar on the page on Facebook published the following data on the number of citizens of Russia who stay on the registration registry as constantly living and in the place of temporary stay. With reference to the data obtained in the Department of Internal Affairs in the city. 2010, 744,777 people. 2011, 872,756 people. 2012, 911,085 people. 2013, 1,009,219 people. 2014, 951,198 people. 2015, 1,093,167 people. 2016, 1,227,669 people. 2017, 1,318,142 people. According to the chairman of City Council of Krasnodar for December 31, 2017, in the territory of the municipal unit 1,356,828 people stayed on the registration registry. The gain for 2017 made nearly 130,000 inhabitants. On September 22, 2018, the mayor of Krasnodar, Evgeny Pervashev, during the celebration of the 225th anniversary of the city, solemnly declared that the population of the city exceeded 1 million people and the city officially became the 16th Russian million-strong city. The document on assignment to Krasnodar of the status of the million-strong city to the mayor was handed by the head of the Federal State Statistics Service on Krasnodar Krai and the Republic of Idigia, Tatyana Kornyakova. However, 6 months later, Rosstat published data for January 1, 2019, according to which the population of Krasnodar was 918,145 inhabitants. At the same time, in 2018 and 2017, rates of increase in population of the city remained at the stable level of 18,000 per year. For January 1, 2020, the population of Krasnodar was, according to Rosstat, 932,629 people. Annual increment was reduced to size of 5,000 people. For January 1, 2021, the population of Krasnodar made 948,827 people. Annual increment made 16.2 thousand people. The population of the city district, with the subordinated rural settlements, for January 1, 2021, made 1,037,888 inhabitants. Indirectly, the lack of the status of the million-strong city and at the same time the aspiration to find such status was confirmed with city administration, which timed the event, "Let's Make Krasnodar the Millionaire," to the beginning of a census. By the time of the beginning of the All-Russian census of 2021, according to at the time acting as the mayor of Krasnodar Andrei Alekhinko, according to accounting cards of police in the territory of the city district Krasnodar 1.7 million people were, as according to Rosstat at the time of the beginning of a census in the territory of the city district only 11,23,000 inhabitants were registered. The given assessment of population of the city district according to Rosstat means that in 3 quarters 2021 the population of the city district had to grow by 85,000 people, that is at the rate of street 28,000 people in a quarter, whereas for all previous years, 2017-2020, the rate of a gain was up 4,000 people in a quarter, that is was 7 times lower. On November 17, 2021, entering a position of the head of Krasnodar, Andriy Alekhinko said that Krasnodar became the house for 1,700,000 people. Results of the all-Russian population census approach these figures. The opinion that achievement by results of a census by Krasnodar of the status of the third largest city of Russia, having outstripped Rostov-on-Don by criterion of population of the historical competitor, will assign the status of the southern capital of Russia to Krasnodar is expressed and will allow to raise a question of transfer to Krasnodar of the capital of the Southern Federal District. The governor of Krasnodar Krai Veniamin Kondratyev said on December 1, 2021 that according to preliminary data the all-Russian population census of 2020/2021 in the region 7,130,000 people. From them live in Krasnodar -1,650,000. The vice chairman of Public Chamber of Krasnodar Krai Alexander Polidi said that by the end of 2030 the population of Krasnodar presumably will make more than 2 million people. National structure on the all-Russian census of 2010. Russian 654,701 90.70%. Armenians of 269,703.74%. Ukrainians of 105,821.47%. Adaids of 63,090.87%. Belarusians of 20,098.29%. Tatars of 20,070.28%. Greeks of 15,090.21%. Georgians of 14,089.21%. Azerbaijanians of 14,17.20%. Other 147,532.04%. In total, 00% which specified nationality. Not specified nationality 23160. In total 744,995 are rewritten. Krasnodar agglomeration. The Krasnodar agglomeration is one of several million in Russia at the city which is not the million-strong city. The population of agglomeration approaches 1.5 million people. The dominant position in the economic sphere of the region is characteristic of Krasnodar. In the city human investment, financial, intellectual and other resources are concentrated. Demographic dynamics differs in availability of 2 factors. Building of resident population with the purpose to receive the status of the million-strong city and increase in actual population, owing to an intensification of agglomerative process and stimulation of an urbanization of the region. According to the strategy of social and economic development of Krasnodar Krai for the long-term period, 2017, are a part of the Krasnodar agglomeration. The Krasnodar agglomeration is interregional, including 4 municipal units of Krasnodar Krai and 3 municipal units of the Republic of Adygea. The city of Krasnodar as an object of the administrative territorial device of Krasnodar Krai consists of the following administrative and territorial units. The city. Regional subordination. Krasnodar divided into 4 intracity. Administrative districts to which 5 rural districts including 29 rural settlements are subordinated. Separation of the Prikabansky intracity district and allocation of part of them which is occupied by the East Kruglakovsky residential district and the Kalinin rural settlement is offered. Creation of one more intracity district in settlements Znamensk and New Znamensk with allocation from the territory of the Karasunski district is also planned. Transformation or abolition of districts is performed by the decision of the Krasnodar City Council on representation of the Mayor of Krasnodar. 2 rural districts are subordinated to the Karasunski district. Pszkovsky and Starokosunsky, and to the Prikobansky district -3 rural districts. Berezovsky, Elizabethan, Kalinin. For the purpose of the organization of local government in the territory of the city with the subordinated rural districts, the municipal unit, the city of Krasnodar, which has the status of the city district, is formed. The head of the municipality, Andrei Alakinko. The flag of the municipal unit, the city of Krasnodar, represents the rectangular panel with width relation to length 2/3, consisting of 2 horizontal equal strips, yellow below and white at the top of flowers. In the center of a flag, the red fortification with 2 towers leaving on the parties is placed. The black 2-headed eagle crowned by 3 yellow imperial crowns on whose breast and a red board, the rider turned to the left on a horse striking with a spear of the turned and turned back black winged serpent relies on Tao's boss. Over a wall red with a yellow border CVE card, and in it the crowned Catherine II's monogram of yellow collar. The description of the coat of arms of Ekaterinodar accepted in 1849. The board is divided crosswisely into 4 equal parts. In the first and fourth, in the gold field, the fortress of dark red color, over it the black 2-headed eagle having the Moscow coat of arms on a breast. In the second and third parts, in the silver field, on 2, crosswise put, a banner of azure collar with monograms. Empress Catherine II, Emperors Paul I, Alexander I, and Nicholas I. Between banners the Atamansky mace, and on the parties of its 2 bunchuk. In the middle of a board the small dark red board on which a monogram of the Empress Catherine II in 1794 is placed. Over a board a gold city crown. The board is supported by 2 Black Sea Cossacks. On the right side, dressed in a former form, and on the left side, in this form. The coat of arms is surrounded with a green border on which 59 gold stars showing number of the Cossack villages in the Black Sea Army. The anthem of Krasnodar. Be famous, famous, the city stately. Is approved by the decision of City Council of Krasnodar on September 23, 2003. Economy. Krasnodar, one of the largest economic centers of Russia. In 2011 entered the city -600 list. Unites 600 largest cities of the world producing 60% of global DDD. Made by the research organization of McKinsey Global Institute. In 2010 the consulting company estimated a gross municipal product of Krasnodar at $12 billion. $22,000 counting on the inhabitant. According to Orub, in 2013 Krasnodar won first place in the all-Russian rating of the cities with the growing business activity. According to a research of Institute of City Economy Fund, in 2015 Krasnodar took the 13th place in the all-Russian rating of capital cities of regions on the gross city product. The city was among 13 Russian regional capitals with economy more than 0.5 trillion rubles. Annual IDV of Krasnodar made 508 billion rubles. Krasnodar Krai in 2015 was included into the first 5 of regions of the Russian Federation on VRP, and Krasnodar, in turn, differs in concentration of resources. More than 45% of VRP of the region, a third of industrial enterprises, 70% of production and distribution of energy, about 45% of retail turnover fall to its share. Krasnodar is one of the most dynamically developing cities of Russia. It was recognized as the best city of Russia for business, according to the Forbes magazine 3 times. The economist Natalia Zubrovich specified that for 2017 Krasnodar was included into the small list of the Russian cities having advantages in development. In it, the high growth of the population, the biggest share turnover of trade, the maximum share investments and amount of input of housing for 2013-2015 is noted. Agglomeration of the city had the most considerable potential of development. Industry. Krasnodar, the large industrial center of the south of Russia. In 2015, about 30% of the general production across Krasnodar Krai were the share of the city. The industry of Krasnodar is provided by 127 large and medium-sized enterprises, over 1,000 more concerned to subjects of small business. The enterprises provide jobs to 40,000 citizens, a 17% of all able-bodied population. Main directions of production. Mineral extraction, the processing productions, production and power distribution, gas and water. Food and processing industry, including product output and tobacco products, production of vehicles and the equipment, oil processing, production of mineral fertilizers, rubber and plastic products, polygraphy and chemical production are most developed in the city. In 2017, the largest specific weight in industrial production was occupied by the enterprises occupied with providing with electric energy, gas and steam, air conditioning -52.8%. On the second place there were enterprises of the processing productions -42.4%. Among them the enterprises of the food industry -34.5% had the greatest share. In export from the city, goods of the food industry prevail. Malt starch, inulin, wheat gluten are exported to Albania, Georgia, Moldova, Egypt, Yemen, Senegal and Tanzania. Raw rice and corn to Great Britain. Dried peas to India and Pakistan. Grain, grain and sunflower oil to the Middle East, to EU countries and Africa. Fats, oil, animal and industrial vegetable, wax in the USA. Also from the city are exported abroad. Agricultural machinery, compressors and the compressor equipment, ware, a container, plants for nano and ultrafiltrations, the separation equipment for the gas industry, etc. Construction. Krasnodar on rates and amounts of housing put into operation in comparison with other regions of the country is in number of leaders, together with Moscow and St. Petersburg. In 2011 in the regional center over 1,075,000 square meters of housing were constructed. Following the results of 2010, amount of works executed by the form activity construction was 35.9 billion rubles, including on large and medium-sized enterprises -19.2 billion rubles that made 81.8 and 78.2% respectively to the level of 2009 in comparable assessment. The growth rate of the general input of housing for January-March 2011 in comparison with the same period of 2010 is 113%. The city of Krasnodar is engaged in construction of apartment houses in the territory of the municipal unit 85 construction companies, construction of houses from prefabricated designs -26 companies. New buildings of the area of Cherry-Mushki. The regional target program to Krasnodar capital shape, which was intended for the period of 2008-2011, worked in the city and assumed development of general schemes of engineering support of the city, reconstruction of its central part with preserving of the general architectural and historical appearance, capital repairs and reconstruction of objects of road and bridge economy. Improvement and gardening of the territory with the general improvement of an ecological situation, carrying out shore protection works, development of transport service of the population and development of the social sphere of the city. Residential District Anniversary. On January 26, 2012, at a meeting of the Krasnodar City Council, the new master plan of development according to which Krasnodar should develop in the next 40 years was approved. The acreage which are included in city border increased approximately by 15,000 hectares, generally at the expense of rural settlements. Realization of the first stage includes intensive construction in East Kruglikowski Park residential districts and around Hydrobildas, construction of production enterprises, waste recycling plant, logistics centers, and also carrying out of military airfield is planned here. In February 2012, the new master plan of development of Krasnodar was placed on the official internet portal of city administration. One of the main problems in the construction sphere of the city is illegally built housing. In the middle of March 2012, the authorities of Krasnodar estimated the market of squatter settlement at 10 billion rubles and also stopped 65 illegal buildings. Despite such big construction of buildings in the city, the false urbanization at the moment prospers, especially this phenomenon is shown in the downtown and settlements near it. Trade. In the city, the sphere of trade is well developed. On commodity turnover amount, Krasnodar wins first place in the Southern Federal District. Its source is not specified. 1583 days retail turnover in 2010 reached 290 billion rubles, that by 1.3 times exceeds the level of 2009. In 2010, more than 60 new shopping facilities with a total area over 125,000 m are entered. For development of own trade in producers in the city are created, and 4 municipal markets in which the products of the Cuban producers are widely provided function. The trade share in economy of Krasnodar makes 52%. Krasnodar in 2009 won first place in Russia by the number of hypermarkets per capita. A large number of various large trade enterprises, including International, Alcan, Leroy Merlin, Castorama, Metro AG, works in the city. Federal, Beacon, Traffic Light. Both low-cost airlines. Magnet Tape Pitaraka Intersection, OK, Stolplit, Pasuda Center, Unid, The Home World, Hof, Regional, Tabris, Cuban The Tool, Coat, Ru, and other networks. Also, the population of Krasnodar is served by the shopping centers located as in city boundaries. The first shopping center of the European level in Cuban is Red Square. And in the areas adjoining to it, but is administrative its part not being the largest of such, is Megadigia Cuban, which is territorially in the Taktamakayski district of Adigia. For the beginning of 2015 in Krasnodar, 5 more malls with an area more than m. Everyone functioned. Gallery, Krasnodar, Galaxy, Red Square, SC's Mega Mall and Oz Mall. There are shopping centers Vega, Meridian, Medaya Plaza, Downtown, City Center, Crystal, etc. In crisis 2009, commodity turnover continued to grow in Krasnodar while the majority of the cities showed negative dynamics of the goods circulation. Mobile communication. In 1994 in Krasnodar, the first cellular network began to work with the NT450 standard. In 1997 the Cuban Ganzam company began the first to provide services of cellular communication of the Ganzam standard. In 2001 Megafon, and after it in 2002 Beeline came to Krasnodar. In 2003 one more federal operator, Mints, attached to himself Cuban Ganzam. In 2008 in the market of cellular communication of Krasnodar Tele appeared. All operators of the Big Three and also Tele support standards 3G with seat pay and 4G only technology. Mobile operators of the CM standard in Krasnodar are Telecom and Skylink. Skylink in networks uses EVDU-RAVA technology which allows to reach up to 3.1 bits/sec of the entering stream and 1.8 bits/sec of outgoing. In the city under the name of Yota, the SCARTO company providing access to network on wirelessly technology works. According to researchers of the industry analytical agency Comus Research, in 2011 Krasnodar Krai headed the list of regions with the lowest cost of services of cellular communication. Besides, Krasnodar Krai takes the third place in Russia by the number of users the mobile internet. 38% of the population. Regular exhibitions. In the territory of the city it is located Krasnodar Expo, the largest exhibition center in the south of Russia. Krasnodar Expo implements such exhibition projects as the International Agro-Industrial Forum, UGAGRO, the Southern Architectural and Construction Forum, the Southern Tourist Forum, Wines and Drinks, UMIDS. Southern Furniture and Woodworking Salon, MOBI, Profitable Hospitality, Forum, Create Yourself. Since November 2007 the 4-star Business Hotel, Forum, with a wide choice of conference rooms and meeting rooms receives guests. In April 2013 in the city the 4-star Hotel Hilton Garden Inn, which became the first hotel of the international class in Krasnodar, opened. Krasnodar, the large transport hub of the south of Russia. The territory of the city is crossed by 4 directions of the railroads, 2 highways of federal importance, there are an airport and river cargo port. Flights to many cities of Russia, the countries of the FSU and beyond, are carried out from the airport. In Krasnodar the following means of transport work. The air, railway, river, bus, city electric transport, the tram and the trolleybus. Traffic flows in Krasnodar as of January 2012 were monitored by 117 video cameras of high resolution. The city authorities in 2014 intended to increase the number of surveillance cameras behind a situation in Krasnodar from 117 to 380 units. Motor transport. For July 1, 2018 in Krasnodar there were 332.8 thousand cars, and on this indicator took the 8th place in Russia. After Moscow, Street, Petersburg, Yekaterinburg, Novosibirsk, Samara, Kazan and Nizhny Novgorod. The routes of federal and regional importance passing through Krasnodar. The federal main highway M, Ton, Moscow, Novorossiysk. Highway extent -1544 km. The highway of federal importance Krasnodar, Novorossiysk, Verkhomansky. The highway of federal importance Krasnodar, Dubovka, Sochi, Adler. Total length of the road -253 km. The highway of federal importance Krasnodar, Slavyansk na Kubani, Temryuk, the highway -290 Novorossiysk, Kirk. Total length of the road -151 km. The highway of regional Krasnodar, Yeysk Value. The highway of regional Temryuk, Krasnodar, Kropotkin Value. And further without turning, on it to Stavropol, through Novoandrovsk and Rich. Construction of the paved Krasnodar-Abinsk highway, the Kabardian is planned. Extent of roads in Krasnodar is 1650 km, of them 1334 km, with an asphalt concrete covering, 305 km, from gravel and also 12 km of dirt roads. Long distance and suburban bus traffic is performed from 3 bus stations. Krasnodar -1, Krasnodar -2 and Yushny. According to Orab of 2008, Krasnodar took the 5th place in Russia by the number of cars on 1,000 inhabitants owing to what in the city a large number of automobile jams. Traffic jams is observed. For the solution of this problem in particular, it is going to develop network of smart parkings and to allocate separate strips for public transport. Project development the Krasnodar Transit, which assumes dismantling of railroad tracks of the Timoshyovsky direction and construction on its place of the trestle route of continuous car traffic and the route of the high-speed tram is conducted. Railway transport. Railway station of Krasnodar -1 station. Krasnodar, the large railway junction. In the city, 3 railway stations are located. Krasnodar I, Krasnodar II and Krasnodar sorting. The Russian Railways Company studies a possibility of start of Aero Express trains from the station in the airport. Air transport. Air terminal building. Terminal of the international airlines. Krasnodar Airport. Peshkovsky. The main air gate of the city is the International Airport Krasnodar. Peshkovsky, which is in the east of the city. The airport has 2 runways with an artificial covering and is certified for acceptance of almost all types of planes and all types of helicopters. More than 50 Russian and foreign airlines serve regular and charter flights. At the airport 2 airlines are based. Utair and Azimut. Victory, Planze Buzirovka. The airport in 2014 took the 7th place on a passenger traffic in Russia -3.4 million passengers. After 3 Moscow, Domodedovo, Sheremetyevo and Vnukovo. Street. Petersburg. Polkovo. Ekaterinburg. Koltsovo. And Novosibirsk. Tolmachevo. In March 2012, stage-by-stage reconstruction of the airport has begun. The whole of the international lines is increased, the runway is modernized, the additional Rulyazny path is constructed. The building of air terminal is expanded. Investments into reconstruction will make 23 billion rubles. River cargo transport, kayaks on the Cuban River within the city. Cargo transportation in Cuban. In the southern part of the city, the river cargo port operates on the Cuban River. Also, the river ferry connecting through the river Krasnodar to the settlement New acts on Cuban. City transport. Public transport of Krasnodar is provided by trolleybuses, 12 routes, trams, 16 routes, buses, 93 routes, from them 55 city, 26 suburban, 12 suburban seasonal. Fare on city public transport -30 rup. Since May 12, 2021. On bus routes of private carriers since December 2021, fare is 35 rubles. Krasnodar became the last city in the countries of the former USSR in which from 1992 to 2013 were used trolleybus trains. Vladimir Veklik, consisting of two Zu-682 cars. Tram 71, 623 in Krasnodar. Buses and share taxis serve both the city and suburban directions. The system of electronic travel cards acts actively. The systems of satellite navigation for public transport take root. In 2010-2012 on the city, several hybrid buses, ecobeds, equipped with electrochemical condensers plied. Later, two of them directed back to the Trolza plant, and the others stand on depot boondocks. The possibility of construction in the city of the subway, a monorail and also networks of cableways was discussed. The city is separated by the Cuban River from areas of the Republic of Adygea. Through the river 3 bridges are induced. Turgenev-Yablanovsky Railway. As road transition, also the dam of the Krasnodar Reservoir is used. It is going to build 2 more bridges. Education. Krasnodar, large education center. In it 15 gymnasiums, 5 lyceums, 110 general education and 20 specialized schools, and also 7 non-state lyceums and schools work. In the city, the following higher educational institutions are located. Cuban State University, Cuban State Technology University, Cuban State Agricultural University, Krasnodar State Institute of Culture, Cuban State Medical University, Cuban State University of Physical Culture, Sport and Tourism, Krasnodar University of the Ministry of Internal Affairs of the Russian Federation. Krasnodar Highest Military College of a name of the General S.M. Shtemenko. Krasnodar Highest Military Aviation College of Pilots of a name of the hero of the Soviet Union A.K. Serov. Krasnodar Municipal Medical Institute of the Higher Sisterly Education. Krasnodar Regional Institute of Additional Professional Pedagogical Education. Southern Inner Regional Training Center of the Federal Penitentiary Service, including non-state. Academy of Marketing and Social and Information Technologies IMSIT. Cuban Institute of Information Protection. Cuban Medical Institute. International Law Institution, Economies, Humanities and Management of K5. Brzezinski. Institute of Modern Technologies and Economy. Cuban Institute of the International Entrepreneurship and Management. Cuban Social and Economic Institute. Southern Russian Institute of the International Relations. Southern Institute of Management. Ekaterinodarsky Theological Seminary. Cuban Evangelical Christian University. Secondary Vocational Education Institutions. Cuban State Medical University. Krasnodarsky Mashinistроительный College C. Krasnodarsky Межрегиональный Монтаж-Техникум C. Pashkovsky Selskozyazovny College C. Krasnodar Architectural and Construction Technical School Federal State Institution. Vguspo, Krasnodar Technical College. Krasnodarsky College Elektronago Priborostroyenie FC. Krasnodar Regional Basic Medical College Public Educational Institution of Department of Healthcare of Krasnodar Krai. Municipal Educational Institution, Krasnodar City Medical College. Krasnodarsky Гуманитарно-технологический College C. KPUK, Krasnodar Teacher Training College. KPUK, Krasnodar Musical College of Rimsky-Korsakov. NPU, Cuban Institute of Professional Education. Branches. Cuban Institute of Socioeconomica and Law. Branch of Academy of Work and Social Relations. Ivanovo State Textile Academy. Krasnodar Cooperative Institute. Branch of the Russian University of Cooperation. Krasnodar branch of Plekhanov Russian Academy of Economics. Moscow University of S.By. Wit. Moscow Pedagogical State University. Rostov State Transport University. Street. Petersburg Institute of Foreign Economic Relations, Economy and Right. North Caucasian branch of the Russian State University of Justice. Modern Humanitarian Academy. Financial University under the government of the Russian Federation. Culture. Check for compliance to criteria of an encyclopedishnost. Check for compliance to criteria of an encyclopedishnost. Perhaps, contents of this article or the section represent any set of poorly connected facts, the instruction, the catalogue or little significant information of news character. Please, improve it according to rules of writing articles. On the page of discussion there can be details. Library of Pushkin. Krasnodar, the main cultural center of Cuban. In the city of 13 museums, 8 concert halls, circus, avant-garde theaters work. Libraries. Regional Universal Scientific Library of A.S. Pushkin. Central City Library of N.A. Nekrasov. Krasnodar Regional Junior Library of I.F. Barabbas. Library of I.A. Poncharev. Library of T.G. Shevchenko. Settlement. Birch. Library of 5. G. Belinsky. X. Lenina. Library of Anno Domini. Znamensky. Settlement. White Grain. Library of A. 1. Herzen. Library of N. 5. Gogol. Library of A. M. Gorky. Library of N. A. Dobrolyubov. Library of N. K. Krupskaya. Library of M. Bayou. Lermontov. Library of A. S. Makarenko. Library of 5. V. Mayakovsky. Library of N. A. Ostrovsky. Library of 50. N. Tolstoy. Library of N. G. Chernyshevsky. Library No. 29 of I. 50. Drozdov. Station Star Korsuna. Library of K. Oboyshikov. Library of A. P. Chekhov. Vyuk, the Krasnodar Regional Special Library for Blind People of A. P. Chekhov. Vyuk Beeps. Krasnodar, Gavrilov P. M. Street. 87. Children's Libraries. Krasnodar Regional Children's Library of Brothers Ignatov. Central City Children's Library of 5. B. Bakaldin. Children's Library of S. Yao. Marshak. Children's Library of 5. D. Wardadim. Children's Library of A. P. Vidar. Children's Library of K. 1. Tchaikovsky. Children's Library of I. S. Turgenev. Theaters. Krasnodar State Academic Drama Theater of Gorky. Krasnodar Ballet Theater. Krasnodar Regional Puppet Theater. Krasnodar Musical Theater. Children's Ballet Theater Mimolyognosti. Krasnodar Municipal Youth Theater. Krasnodar State Circus. Krasnodar Philharmonic Hall of Grigory Ponomarenko. The Creative Consolidation, premiere of Leonard Gotov. New Puppet Theater. 1 Theater. Music Hall, the first private musical theater in Krasnodar and Edge, is open in 2020. Krasnodar Philharmonic Hall of Grigory Ponomarenko. Concert halls. Palace of Arts, Primera. Concert Hall of the Krasnodar Philharmonic Hall of Grigory Ponomarenko. The Central Concert Hall of the Cuban Cossack Choir, the choral singing collective founded in 1811. Municipal Concert Hall of Organ and Chamber Music. Recreation Center of Railroad Workers. Regional House of Educators. House of Scientists and Engineers. Gallic Hall. Arena Hall. Multipurpose Complex Basket Hall. Art Museum of F.A. Kovalenko. Museums. Krasnodar Regional Art Museum of F.A. Kovalenko. Krasnodar State Historical and Archaeological Memorial Estate of E.T. Felitsyn. Krasnodar Regional Branch of the Russian Fund of Culture. Museum of History Skias. The Museum of a Mail Service in Kuban. Museum of the Krasnodar Fire Protection. Krasnodar Regional Showroom of the Fine Arts. Museum of Military Equipment of the Park of a Name of the 30th Anniversary of the Victory. Literary Museum of Kuban. 5. Vysotsky's House Museum. Museum of Bodybuilding of Sanson. Museum of Modern Art. Museum of Polygraphy and Applied Crafts. Art Galleries. Art Union. Laren's Gallery. Dorothea. L Gallery. Santal. Flich. Krasnodar Institute of the Modern Art. Cultural Center of the Modern Art Printing House. Parks. The Square with an Elephant. The Solar Island. Earlier, Park 40 of Years of October was organized on November 12, 1959 based on Nursery and Flower Economy of Gorzel Interest Trust. But at the beginning of the 20th century this land plot the owner, the local entrepreneur A.N. Rockel began to plant and arrange well actively it. In development the park became not only a green zone of the city with the vegetation provided by 90 types and forms of wood and shrubby breeds and flower beds, but also large entertainment center. Is a nature sanctuary. The Krasnodar Park. Called still Galitsky's Park. Is built near F.E. Krasnodar Stadium on an initiative and on money of the businessman Sergei Galitsky. Technical opening took place in September 2017. In December of the same year the park became the winner of the All-Russian Award in the field of architecture and design of A Sign of the Cities, having won the public space nomination. The project of the park is developed by the German Architectural Bureau Camp International. On the area of 22.7 hectares 30 thematic zones are located. Observation decks, the rope park, musical and water labyrinths, the rock climbing wall, a skate park, fountains, a summer amphitheater, cafe and many other objects for entertainments and comfortable stay. All territory has original illumination which is provided by about 2,000 lamps. In the park more than 2,300 adult trees of different breeds are planted. Recreation Park of a Name of the 30th Anniversary of the Victory. Recreation Park of a Name of the 60th Anniversary of the Victory. Park of the 300th Anniversary of Police of Russia. Chistikovsky Grove. In 2009 it is recognized by the best amusement park in Russia with the number of visitors from 250 to 500,000 people. In the territory of the Grove roundabouts for children, the concert venue, for holding festive events, the Park Extreme, fountains are located. Here visitors can drive in the carriage with horses, have a bite, eat ice cream and drink beer. In the territory, cafes with tables on air are located. In the park there live squirrels who can be fed directly from hands. Here located the book market that allows to combine a campaign behind books and rest in the park. Park, Green Zone. Chistikovsky Grove. Gardens. City Recreation Park of Gorky. Were mortgaged on October 8, 1848 on the place of the former large settlement. The Miotske Ancient Settlement. In pursuance of the order of 1846 released the General Field Marshal Prince M.S. Vorontsov, the Deputy of the Caucasus. The order ordered suit nurseries Deravan plants. In 4 large cities of the southern region of Russia, including Ekaterinodar. On February 13, 1850 the garden nursery was registered under the name Army Garden. Oberstroist of a garden within 6 years directed the experienced gardener Yakov Baikalmeyer. In 1888 the garden was visited by Alexander. At the sites of the park during the different periods acted F. 1. Shilipin E. 5. Yeltser I.P. Yonzin, famous capital actors of the Moscow Maly Theatre. In days of the Great Patriotic War the park was almost destroyed, but restored in post-war years. In 1981 its large-scale reconstruction begun in the 70s was completed. Gardens, a natural and historical city monument, the oldest park of Krasnodar, which became in 2003 the owner of the highest award in the field of show business, a gold pony. Founded in 2002 by Facto Edizioni Publishing House. Italy. Gardens Karasunsky. Gardens Old Cuban. The Botanical Garden of I.S. Kosenko. Tree Nursery. Was originally created in 1959 at the initiative of Professor I.S. Kosenko is a tree nursery of the Cuban State Agricultural University. In 1964 the tree nursery is registered as scientific institution in the International Reference Book Botanical Gardens of the World, and in 1977 the name of his creator was appropriated to it. In May 2007 the regional administration made the decision the most part of a garden, 37.5 hectares, to transfer to the city for use as the park. Then works on improvement of this territory with simultaneous replenishment of its collection followed. On September 29, 2007 the ceremonial opening of a botanical garden for visits was held. Here about 1,200 species of trees and bushes, among which there are 50 rare and disappearing, more than 800 tropical species and subtropical plants in hothouse culture are collected. Botanical Garden of the Cuban State University. Zoos. Safari Park. Ocean Park. Oceanarium. Menagerie of the Station of Young Naturalists. Dolphinarium. Aquapark. On January 14, 2015 it was declared closing of the last at the time of the Krasnodar Aquapark Ekvator. The Niagara Aquapark is open in the fall of 2016 around Megadijia Shopping Center. Its modern object for rest and entertainments located in 7 km to the southwest from the center of Krasnodar territorially belongs to the Republic of Adygea. It occupies the space in 2500 am. and accommodates 2,500 people at the same time. Water attractions work from the middle of June until the beginning of the second decade of September, being closed in rainy weather. In the summer of 2018, the summer residence, Santorini, representing huge pools of overflow type under the open sky for rest of children and adults, was open. Is in the Prikabansky district near the third office Knyzev. Movie theaters. Aurora. Monument of architecture of local value. Since 2015, the building of movie theater is closed on reconstruction, a deadline the end of 2024. Bulgaria Monitor. City Deluxe Monitor. SE's Monitor. In SE's shopping center. Kubain Kino. Europe Monitor. In an entertainment complex, Europe Park. It is temporarily closed on reconstruction. Movie Center. Formula of Cinema. Osmol. Film Society on Red 5. Kinemax. In Krasnodar Gallery Shopping Center. The Monitor at Red Square. In Krasnaya Plashchad Shopping Mall. Massachusetts Media. In the city, the Krasnodar Regional Radio Television Transmitting Center, which is the largest division as a part of the Federal State Unitary Enterprise, Russian Television and Broadcasting Network, is located. Local television. In Krasnodar in 2022 continued broadcasting of 3 broadcasting analog TV channels. The local television is disconnected. TX frequency name of the channel. Match by Match Saturday. Rake 100600. Match Disney Channel. Digital and radio television. All 21 channels for a multiplex of Erters-1 and Erters-2. The package A radio channel includes messages of FM, Radio Beacon, Radio Russia/State TV and Radio Broadcasting Company Cuban. The package of Erters-1 TV channels. Television Channel 39, the frequency of 618 match. Includes Channel 1, Russia 1/State TV and Radio Broadcasting Company Cuban, TV Match, NTV, Channel 5, Russia 2, Russia -24/State TV and Radio Broadcasting Company Cuban, Roundabout, Otter/Cuban TXC. The package of Erters-2 TV channels. Television Channel 60, the frequency of 718 match. Includes NTV, Xavier, Saints, House, TB, Friday. Star, World, Scene T, Must TV. Obligatory public regional TV channels. 21st button. Cuban 24. Satellite and online channels from Krasnodar. Krasnodar TV channel, the 22nd channel. Rostelecom. Cuban 24 or Beta. Radio stations. In Krasnodar are registered and 24 FM radio stations work. The vast majority private. 2 state regional. The first radio. NT. And Radio Rocks region. The regional administration has 65% of stocks, with a scope to 90% of the territory of Cuban. In Krasnodar there is a large number of printing editions, among which the regional newspapers, Kubanskaya Novosti, Cuban Сегодня, the city newspaper, Krasnodarskaya Izvestia, and Drive. In the rating of media of 75 largest cities of Russia, Krasnodar took the 9th place on the cumulative weekly circulation of social and political printed media. 1,012,920 copies. And the 4th place on availability of non-state media. The most production weeklies of the general interest or regional issues of federal editions. Arguments and the facts. The South, Komsomolskaya Pravda, Cuban, Life, Moskovsky Komsomolets in Cuban, Krasnodar Courier. Daho, Province. The highest circulation among the sold newspapers, regional release of the Telegudov, Telesum. Sites. Sculpture. The Zaporizhia Cossacks write the letter to the Turkish Sultan on Krasnaya Street. Tchaikovsky Tower in Krasnodar. Street. Catherine's Cathedral, the cathedral temple of the Ekaterinodarsky in Cuban diocese. Army Alexander Nevsky Cathedral, the main Orthodox church of the city of Krasnodar, destroyed in 1932 and restored on the new place in 2006. In Krasnodar, the Federal Monument of Architecture, the water tower constructed on the project of the engineer and scientist Vladimir Grigorievich Chekhov in 1935 is located. The design is at the Circus Building on crossing of streets of 5. Pilovati and Rashpalovskaya. In addition, monuments of federal importance in the city are building of the Krasnodar Philharmonic Hall or Winter Theatre, architects A. Haslov F.O. Shechtel. 1908, reconstruction of 1954, Arc. A. 5. Titov. M.S. Kuznetsov's House. 1888-1900. Where the conservatory nowadays is located. On April 24, 2009, on crossing of streets Red and Grandmothers near the reconstructed fountain, the Alexandrovsky Triumphal Arch recreated on the new place originally established in honor of arrival to the city of the Emperor Alexander III was open. In the spring of 2012, in the system of the fountain before an arch, the first ever special equipment which allowed the audience to regulate illumination of streams by means of mobile phone number was installed. To the City Day, the monument was opened on September 28, 2008. The Zaporizhia Cossacks write the letter to the Turkish Sultan in a genre of a city sculpture. It was placed on crossing of streets Red and Gorky. In September 2008, at the site before the building of the former Central Department Store on Gogol Street. In Krasnodar, the monument to a purse which got in top -50 the most unusual monuments to Russia subsequently was open. On April 17, 2018, the monument, District Police Officer Aniskin. Sculptor Bobak 5. In the territory of the Ministry of Internal Affairs University was open. On September 26, 2011, on Theatre Square during the celebration of a City Day, one of the largest light organ fountains in Russia was started. The movement of water in it is provided by 375 nozzles, effects more than 600 lamps. On September 26, 2011, within the celebration of a City Day in the Krasnodar Gardens, the architectural and park complex, Kind Angel of the World, opened. The famous sculptor Alexander Apollonov and the honored artist of Russia Piotr Stronsky worked on creation of composition. Height of the column established in the gardens -9 meters. She is crowned by a gilded 2-meter figure of an angel. Resonant crimes. In the middle of January 1961 in the city there were Massachusetts riots. On June 14, 1971 in Krasnodar there was a terrorist attack. The insane Piotr Volinsky made explosion in the regular bus. As a result of incident 10 people died. On August 25, 2003 at 7:40 in the morning, practically at the same time at 3 bus stops located in the different ends of Krasnodar, explosive devices worked. 3 persons died, 20 got wounds of various degrees of severity. The big victims managed to be avoided thanks to accident. The buses filled with people several minutes prior to explosions departed from stops. Sport. This city is known in sports circles for the school of trampolining, where the first world champions and the Olympic Games in this type were brought up. Alexander Moskalenko and Irina Karvaeva. Constructions. Krasnodar Stadium. Main sports constructions of the city. Cuban Stadium. Capacity of 35200 viewers. FE Krasnodar Stadium. Capacity of 35000 viewers. Dynamo Stadium. Now is on reconstruction. Frud Stadium. Thamson Stadium. Spartak Sports Palace. Dynamo Sports Palace. The Olymp Sports Palace. Covered with a capacity of 3,000 audience. Combative Arena of Erka Europe. Krasnodar Hippodrome. Sports Center of the Cuban State University of Physical Culture, Sport and Tourism. Sports Center of 5. Mikuji. Sports Center of Pox. Sports Center Ekaterinodar. In a northern part of Krasnodar along Dzerzhinsky Street. The multipurpose sports complex, City of Sport, in the territory of which work is located. Arena of Basket Hall. Capacity of 7,500 viewers. Ice Arena of Ice Palace. Capacity of 3,200 viewers. Complex of the Educational and Training Champion Halls. Sports Professional Clubs. Locomotive Cuban Basketball Club. Professional Basketball League. Women's Volleyball Club, Dynamo. Super League. Men's Volleyball Club, Dynamo. Highest League, B. Women's Handball Club, Cuban. Super League. Men's Handball Club, Skiff. Super League. Rugby Club, Cuban. A Super League on Rugby -7. Football Club Krasnodar. Premier League. Football Club Krasnodar -2. Final. Football Club Krasnodar -3. PFL. Women's Football Club Krasnodar. Highest Division. Football Club Eurashe. PFL. In 2011, Krasnodar became the city of Russia first in the history after Moscow provided in the highest football division by 2 clubs. Cuban and Krasnodar. Literature. Vladimir Mayakovsky wrote the poem Krasnodar. Elizabeth Ivanovna Dmitrieva wrote a cycle of poems, Ekaterinodar. The book by Viktor Lokonosov, Unwritten Memoirs, is devoted to Ekaterinodar. A Small Paris, 1986. This lyrico epic cloth connecting the present to the past became a literary monument to Ekaterinodar. Music. The Swiss Lacrimosa group devoted to Krasnodar, one of songs of an album of 2009 of Senset. I Lost My Star in Krasnodar. The Krasnodar song, the Baker Compote group. 1998, an album, God, Strawberry and Peacock, track No. The Krasnodar song, the Semantic Hallucinations group. 2005, an album, Big Plans, track No. 01. International Relations. Diplomatic and Consulates. Consulate General of the Republic of Cyprus. Krasnodar, Krasnik Partisan Street. 521. Flag of Italy, Consulate Honorable General of the Republic of Italy. Krasnodar, Krasnaya Street. 81/UL. Vorkogo, 96/. Flag of Poland, Visa Center of the Republic of Poland. Krasnodar, Severnaya Street. 447, Office. Flag of Italy, Visa Center of the Republic of Italy. Krasnodar, Pushkin Street. 44. Honorable Consulate of the Republic of Tajikistan. Krasnodar, Turgenev Street. 85. Honorable Consulate of the Republic of Kyrgyzstan. Krasnodar, Volodya Golovety Street. 313A, Room No. 56. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.